Alright, this is my second attempt at a recipe from the Wizards Cookbook. It is the Witch's Soup from the 1990 movie The Witches. If you haven't seen that movie, you need to find out where you can watch it because it is really one of the best movies I've ever seen Angelica Houston in. So it's listed as an appetizer. It is basically a potato soup. I showed a second earlier. What you need is 16 ounces of tomato juice, tapioca pearls, potatoes, zucchini, and salt and pepper. The first step is you take your tomato juice and you boil it. You need to get it warm. Basically, it is 2 cups of tomato juice. And then you take 4 potatoes and skin the potatoes, peel the potatoes, and cut them into very large chunks. So this recipe calls for 4 potatoes. It doesn't say the pound. My potatoes were small, so I ended up using 6 potatoes. Once the tomato juice is boiling, turn it to very, very low and add a cup of tapioca pearls. This is where my recipe went wrong. All I had was small tapioca pearls. You really need large tapioca pearls. It's just not the same. My grocery store only had small. It worked, but if you want the recipe to be the best, you need to find large tapioca pearls. So stir the pearls in and then I turn the heat off completely and put the lid on. If you don't have a lid for your pan, just put it on very low simmer and let it simmer for like 10 minutes. You want the juice to soak up into the pearls. I think if it was larger, they wouldn't gel like mine did. Okay, so you can take the potatoes and chunk them up and just set them aside. Like I said, I ended up with 6 potatoes because I just didn't think they were big enough. This recipe, I like this book, but it's not always the best descriptive recipes. They tell you 2.5 pounds of zucchini, but they don't say how many pounds of potatoes. Boil the potatoes for 30 minutes. And this is just me setting the timer, boiling the potato for 30 minutes. And then while that is boiling, I start on the zucchini. So it was 2.5 pounds of zucchini. Oh wait, this is the tapioca pearls. I'm just checking on them. As you can see, they're a gelled mess. Definitely not what the picture looks like, but I'm going to make do with what I have. So now at this point, I just put the lid on to keep them warm. I'm peeling my zucchini. I did weigh the zucchini ahead of time, and at this point, I really was frustrated with the recipe, and I felt like the zucchini wasn't, it said to peel it. And so I did peel it, and then you see the zucchini underneath. It's very light green. I was worried I was going to have to add food coloring because I just didn't think the zucchini was going, once boiled down, I didn't think it was going to make the soup green. Believe it or not, it did. Even though there was more potato than zucchini, once it's all blended together, it was green. A light green, but a green nonetheless. If you want it deeper to be more Halloween-y, just add like a drop of food coloring. But I didn't think it was necessary. I think if I made this for Halloween, I would add green food coloring because I think it would make the soup a little more interesting if you want to make this for a Halloween treat. And I think this recipe would be a good Halloween recipe. But basically, it's just a basic potato soup with zucchini. So I just chunked up the zucchini, and then you add it to the potatoes. After the potatoes have boiled for 30 minutes, you add the zucchini and boil the zucchini. Or you simmer the zucchini, you don't boil it. Turn the water to simmer and then leave it on for another 20 minutes. And that dark green is just a fleck of the peel from the zucchini. I strain that stuff out later. Alright, so yes, put it on another 20 minutes at just extremely low heat. And now you drain the liquid and you blend the potato and zucchini together. In this part of the recipe, it never says to drain the liquid. Again, this is another flaw in the recipe. You don't need the water from the boiling. Just drain the potatoes and zucchini and blend them together. There's enough liquid in the zucchini that you didn't need any extra. And it frothed really nice. It looks really good. See, and it's green. It doesn't look deep green in this video, but it was green enough for me. Like I said, if you want it deep green, just add a drop of food coloring. So basically at this point, you just have a basic potato, very bland potato soup. So at this point, you're supposed to add salt and pepper to taste. I needed to add a lot of salt and pepper. This recipe just, I don't know, it's just bland. There's nothing about it. It's just a plain potato and zucchini soup. And I'll be honest, I tasted it. It does not taste like zucchini at all. It just tastes like a bland potato soup. So I added a lot of salt and pepper, and then I ended up adding like seasoning salt because it just was too bland for my husband. Now these are the tapioca pearls. It's just a gelled mess right now. It does taste like tomato juice. And now, see, I've added it to the bowl. It's just a garnish. If you use large tapioca pearls, hopefully it will look better. So this is the end of the recipe. Is it the best recipe ever? No, absolutely not. But you know what? If you want something for Halloween, it is a cute little recipe.